Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the first episode of The Third's Words. This is a little podcast series I plan to start. You're just having discussions with people. Today I'm joined with my very close friend and awesome guest speaker, Hobs,
Yo, what's up?
and I'm your host, Brian the Third. And what I want to talk to you all today about is the internet, right? The internet at large and how it's affecting you. I'm pretty sure most everybody knows that the internet is not as cracked up as it's made to seem, and that it actually has a lot of downsides in the overuse of it, really, and the media you consume, to be more fair. We're going to delve into, like, literally the phones produce radiation. It's some stuff. So, I'm going to start with this first topic here: social media's physical and mental repercussions. So let's just talk about what we already know. Hobbs, what do you already
Yeah,
know about the physical or mental repercussions that the internet has?
I mean, when it comes down to it, a lot of people now, more especially dealing with the pandemic that we've had, sort of comes down to a lot of self-esteem issues.
Mm,
Especially like a application that's like really notorious for that shit is Instagram. I say like all the time, it's top one like worst social medias to use. Like I use that thing once a year, right?
right.
And I come off of that feeling like I don't know, like two times worse, maybe three times worse than I did because I look at what everybody else has done, you know. So that actually takes a toll on people who may feel like their lives aren't like good enough, or they're not moving on par with what like everybody else is moving on. So I don't know, that puts a lot of pressure on people, kind of in a mental sense, you know.
I just want to say I'm very happy that you brought up Instagram because let's start off with mentally. Social media is notoriously addictive, just any marketing in general, for being addictive based on the fonts they choose, the colors they select. They are always trying to hook people in. And the overuse of it, especially Instagram, is detrimental to, like you said, people's self esteem. And honestly, the total opposite can happen with that too, my man. I mean, delusions of grandeur. People get on the internet and they fake these personalities or these lifestyles that they're not really living, and then they start to believe that these likes and shares amass an ego boost for these people. They actually believe themselves to be better than what they are, despite not even living the life that they portray. And I think that's a big issue going forward because that's like an identity crisis.
I mean, when it comes down to it, like you're kind of moving into the thing of like where people like post like I guess fraud shit on there, like more so like fake flexing and all that other type of shit. And
Fake
that
flexes.
can, yeah,
Yep.
that can really like make a delusion of like grandeur, as you said. But like there has to be a certain point of like is this delusion, or is this like people trying to come up with their own sense of self-worth, you know what I'm saying?
I
Like
understand.
it's easy to write off things as being delusional, or like, oh, this guy thinks he's hot shit, or this thing or that thing. But there's also an air of confidence to it in putting that out into the world. um you know it's when it comes down to fake flexing, yeah, you know I guess that's like the point that you would get to. But I don't know. It's just important to make a cutoff, if
I
you know what I'm
just
saying.
I don't promote the fake flexing. I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, on the opposite scale, so we just talked about the people and their delusions of grandeur, right? Jumping
Mhm.
in, thinking that they are someone that they're not, and having an ego boost from this, a false ego boost at that. Let's
Right,
talk about how this affects people who view that content.
right.
People see these people all the time, your friends, family members, posting this luxurious, grandiose lifestyle. And it's not even always luxurious or grandiose, but it's never anything negative or real, right? You don't get on Instagram and see Jessica with a bad hair day unless you're following, what is that Finsta, right? Where they have alternate accounts that they
Oh yeah,
hide for
yeah, yeah.
specific people.
I don't even know the full shit
Right.
on that. I don't know Instagram lingo.
Well,
I went there once a year.
generally then, coming
Sort
into
of,
it,
yeah,
like, that's all
yeah.
they post is the
It's
positives.
like the private one. Yeah.
You see your friends having fun. I mean, look, I can go over here and have a party a month ago. post the photo today and said that was tonight's party. You know, you people thinking there's moves happening when there's not. People take, what did Drake say? He knows a girl who takes photos of places she's flown just so she can post them at home, or the places she's gone, something like that. I probably just
Something
butchered
like
that
that.
quote, but you understand what that is. People aren't living positive 24/7. You know, every day is not a good day, and Instagram definitely does not promote that idea. Social media as a whole does not promote that idea.
No. I
Oh,
think that's where you're wrong.
okay.
Twitter. You know,
Oh,
like for
oh
me
no.
personally, that's where I spend a lot of time is on
Right,
Twitter. You know, I'm a Twitter addict. I don't give a fuck, right? I've seen some people post some of their worst moments on Twitter, and people follow them. You know, these people get 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers, right? They'll post some rank ass shit, and it's fucking great, and everybody loves it. You know, they'll post on their worst days and on their best days. You know, you'll scroll through your timeline and see some absolute whack shit happening to somebody, like somebody's girlfriend dumping them, and they put that up there and all that shit. And then at the same day, like somebody I follow on Twitter, don't even know them personally or anything like that. They're posting their graduation saying like, I finally fucking did it.
right.
So there's things to both be celebrated on there, but that app also is still god awful.
Do you
It
know?
truly is.
Do you know how many people are using the internet and social media though?
I mean, I suspect like most of the first, not even just the first world, a lot of the third world too. I know Facebook is pretty big in
Mm-hmm.
Africa and India.
Let me tell
Pretty
you this:
pretty huge.
80% of teens. This
Yeah.
is a study conducted by Pew Research Center.
Right.
80% of teens use the internet, and 60% of adults.
Right.
Okay. Now we're also going to tie that in here with a British study on social
Right.
media use, and it is found that social media can decrease the quality of the sleep you get, and the lack of sleep leads into a slew of health detriments. I mean, here are
Yeah.
just like what the top three. What'd you say?
No, I said yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you had something to add here.
No. Go ahead.
Bro, it can manifest into you becoming more likely to become depressed,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Very easily. These are things you already know. You can have trouble remembering things,
Of course.
and this obviously can relate to poor academic performance. Okay, so let's just take those two things and mash them together here.
Right.
Those are some detriments that come with social media use.
Right.
Those are the numbers of people using the internet or social media as a whole. Right now, there's some leniency. Honestly, it's probably more. Now that you think about it, there's kids, bro, 5 years of age using the phone better than me, and I grew up with the damn thing coming out.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, smoking.
man, there's probably tons of people, like pretty much damn near everyone, unless you're in a third world country, and even then, I'm sure there's some
I
internet
mean,
or technology there that you're, maybe not required to use, but it's opening up, right?
yeah. The thing is like to differentiate between social media use and then social media abuse. You get what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Like,
okay.
you can use a certain drug, like take alcohol for instance, right?
Right.
There's you're somebody who can enjoy a nice drink, have one or two drinks, get loose, actually have a good time on it. And then there's people who drink to excess, right? A bottle of vodka a day, two, you know what I'm saying, just straight bottles. It could be like that with social media. I feel like social media use as a way to check in on people because, with the world evolving like how it is, more and more people move away for either business opportunities, families, or people could just drift apart and not see each other like that.
Right.
Social media is a great tool in order to actually talk to those people, but abuse where it comes to where you compulsively check it. Like the first thing you do when you wake up is it shouldn't be what is somebody on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, like what are people doing?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. That's where you get into abuse territory. You haven't even, had your morning coffee or taken your morning piss before you are on your phone, not to check the time or
Crust still in your
check.
eyes.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't brushed teeth yet. Like, come on, that's where it comes down to. And it's okay if you just check it. Sorry, that's my phone. It's okay if you check it like once a while, right?
Right.
I come online and I look at text messages first off to see, oh, has anybody, tried to reach out to me or anything like that. I check Twitter after I've done my full morning routine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you might check the news on your phone or something like that. That's fine. The internet's great for that. Social media is great for that because Twitter also has news. It's just when you're stuck in someone else's business and that becomes your life. What is this person doing? Oh, what are all the people on Twitter doing?
To jump in
and
with
it's
that,
people that you don't even interact with. Okay, go on.
yeah, people. Oh my goodness, taking opinions from people who you don't interact with.
Yeah, and just checking in on people that you don't interact with at all. They don't even know you exist, but for some reason you are still infatuated with them. It's crazy.
As a side note here, I cannot stand the amount of weight that people put in the opinions of others online who they do not know and do not know them. You understand me? People coming in here to troll, spread hate, and you know what? Let's take it even a step further as well. Going back to the delusions of grandeur, don't take every compliment or every praise from a stranger as being beneficial to you. You understand? You got to put the same weight that you would get these compliments from these strangers online as you would put these insults online. These are people on the internet who you don't know. Take all of their opinions and opinions in general with a grain of salt. You understand?
I didn't get that.
It's because it molds people. You understand? I mean, the depression we're talking about here. You post a picture, there's hella negative comments, and you let that get to you. I feel like the internet also is making people more weak-minded, and it's deriving us of our attention spans. It's just becoming easier and easier. I mean, think of these younger generations. Let me just briefly push you into this. Like we're talking about these 5-year-olds who are using the phones and everything.
Right.
Bro, they're young and impressionable, okay? They grow up. Some of these kids have TikToks, at that age. Or parents supervise it as well. But
right.
The ones who aren't supervising, let's say they read these comments, now this child thinks that people in the world hate them. You understand me? Or they take that to heart. Like it's like a baby, damn near, we're talking about. Reading these comments, you suck. And there's some wild people and some wild things they'll say on the internet, like kill yourself. And they grow up seeing and reading that. You understand? That's what's put in front of them. That can definitely mold and shape people. And we don't even have to take it to babies that are just young and impressionable. Hell, teens are impressionable too, and young adults. You understand?
I think that's teenagers more specifically are a lot more impressionable. You're molding yourself at that point to become a full-fledged adult. So it does come down with that. But a lot of these issues, like where you said it's a 5-year-old or somebody on a phone, right? We can even make them 13, 14. It doesn't matter. It comes down to parenting. And when it comes down to that, it's if things aren't right at the home, then it's gonna spell out trouble.
Can I tell
It
you
doesn't
what
matter. Like
I have seen people teaching their children less and putting phones in front of them more. What about you?
I mean, I guess so. I really don't. It sounds weird, but I really don't look at people. Like I really don't look at what they do. I just mind a lot of my business. But yeah, I guess so. I do guess so. Kind of let the internet raise your kid.
So I work in a facility where children come in very frequently, get procedures done, and etc.
Right.
There will be parents concerned about their child's well-being, but haven't watched the operation at all. They have had their phone in front of them the entire time. This is the parent I'm talking about.
Right.
While their child is getting, work done on them. And then they want to come in at the end and ask me, what's going on? What are these tubes connected to my child? This, that, and the third. And it's like, ma'am, are you just now tuning in? You understand? The phone is people are having their heads in their phones far too much. Okay, that's an example of a parent not even watching a child, right? You do the opposite. The parents doing something, anybody's doing anything. These kids, I sat these children down, right? They have no phone. They're bored, they're getting restless. I hand them a piece of paper and a pen. And I'm like, you want to draw? These children are above drawing. Can you believe? I mean, I haven't drawn in a minute. You understand me? But I still enjoy drawing when I do it. These kids don't even have the attention span for drawing, for goodness sakes. What is going on? Too many people have their heads in the phone. And it's only increasing.
Yeah, I mean, once you have a new technology, because the internet is relatively new.
Correct.
It's not that old. People will tend to want to, see the limits to that, but there are also, like I said, it starts with the parents. You even alluded to this with being, stuck in the phone and all that bullshit. It comes down to, are you encouraging your kids to actually explore different avenues or do something like that? Like, I used to draw a lot, and I actually had my parents that supported that type of shit. So I drew more. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
People that I've noticed that um who actually have their parents involved in their activities and like what they do from a young age, not like health, like it's healthy, the involvement of their parents, and they actually encourage what they do. It's a lot. You live a lot healthier of a life. But if you don't have your parents trying to actually force you to go down the different avenues, or encouraging, I shouldn't say force, encouraging you to go down different avenues, well, the problems start to arise, and you start to seek that validation from other places. So,
I think that's a real dangerous game, man. You can't seek validation on the internet. That is the opposite way to build character, if you ask me, man. You, you, progress has to come from within. First you have to know you as a person, and I think it's going to be hard to understand yourself and the person you are and are meant to be when you're looking at everybody else. And that is exactly what social media's whole directive is. Look at what your people are posting,
Mm-hmm.
You're looking too much at what everybody else is doing in the world. What are the keeping up with the Kardashians, you understand me? You're looking everywhere else but inward. You can't seek validation and you can't seek growth by watching the movements of other people to an excess, because you can follow the
Right.
greats, obviously, in the path that they took in like financial or business structures, but not in character development if you're consuming the wrong media.
Yeah, I'm glad you said wrong media, because there is certain just gutter tier dog shit, things. It's trash TV. Like, it's always been there, trash TV.
Trash television.
Yeah, it's like it's soap operas basically. You know what I'm saying? It's more of dog shit soap operas. Like, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I have not watched one episode of that shit. I'm
Me
never
neither.
going to watch one episode of
I
that
mean, why
shit.
would I?
Reality TV is so fucking bad.
I don't care what
It's
they're
so
doing today
fucking
or
awful.
tomorrow, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's pretty fucking dog shit. But I don't know. I don't know. When it comes down to like how you said, seeking validation kind of sucks, but I don't know, because personally, like, I've seen different things of, like, if you're good at something, right,
Right.
and you put yourself out on a stage still seeking validation on a social media platform, and you actually get that validation, it'll still strive you to, like, actually do better, because these are people that don't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I've seen, well, personally, like, when I actually used to edit videos and do all that stuff, when somebody actually, a complete stranger online tells me that I did a good job, they had no incentive to tell me I did a good job, so that's good. You know what I'm saying? That's a benefit. It's one thing to have, your mother or your father coming up to you and telling you, hey, you did a good job. I mean, you kind of fucking expect that,
Right.
But,
I mean, you put that crude drawing up on the wall and that's fridge worthy.
yeah, exactly.
And you're like, nah, I pooped that out in like what? Yeah, half a minute, mom. What you talking about?
Yeah, so it's shit, but they want you to think it's good.
Right.
But so when you have a random stranger come out and validate that, that's pretty nice. But if you have a random stranger come out and critique it, you also have to take that criticism. So it's good and bad. But if you let that rip you apart, that's where I think it starts to become bad, sort of way.
Most certainly. I was thinking of a topic here because you mentioned the seeking validation and basically how this is false praise, right? I was
Right.
thinking about how I read a study and it told me
Mm.
that people who make an excess of money in the entertainment industry are twice as likely to become depressed. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, they have a whole bunch of fans, people who worship the every step they walk on type of crazy, right? And they're still twice as likely to become depressed. Not to say that it's all influence, it's probably not all this fake fake praise. It's not it.
Right.
It's because it's not necessarily fake praise in every way, right? Every compliment on the internet isn't necessarily fake. It's just that it's not genuine enough. I feel like, I don't know. They have to be in front of you
I
or
think
be someone you hold dear.
you're getting to a different thing here because right with the whole the praise thing and all that, where it comes down to where it doesn't matter if somebody's in front of your face saying this shit, because look at stars before the internet actually popped up. You know, you actually go out and perform on stage, or do these other things. People could still critique you. People could still call absolute strangers. It's still the same thing. Could call you dog shit. Could call you great. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to rappers and all these people who have like excess, you know the old saying of money doesn't buy happiness. You know what I'm saying? And in the same right, achievements also don't actually give you happiness at a certain stage. And let me elaborate on that. Anthony Bourdain, right?
Okay.
Who was a great chef and also had his show. I think it was called Parts Unknown, Places Unknown, Parts Unknown. I'm pretty sure. And the dude was full of life, all that stuff, right? He had money. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, he had money, right? He talked to one of his friends at a podcast before where he talked about this. This is going somewhere. And Bourdain, I think he got an award of some sort. I wasn't sure if it's for a show or if it was for his culinary arts, but he called up his friend and said, I got the achievement. Like, what do I do now? And he says, well, you go for another one. And when it comes down to it, I feel like superstardom or just fame and affluence in general kind of makes this thing of, oh, if I have this award, I need to get more. If I have this much money, I need to get more. That that's just the price of superstardom. It's just a price of recognition, is sort of being depressed or having your mental absolutely destroyed, because now it isn't something that you love doing. Or you could still love doing it, but it's now about chasing that next high, which comes down to sort of almost being like an addiction.
Internet addiction is a real thing. That's classified as something, I believe.
Yeah, internet addiction is real.
I guess the bigger point that I'm trying to make here is that external validation means nothing until internal validation means something to you. Compliments and insults from strangers hold no weight unless you understand the person you are. Someone can't tell me that I'm a shitty artist and my work is shit if I know I'm not a shitty artist and my work isn't shit. Of course, that's all subjective. Everything is. But, well, not everything, right? But, well, I believe it to be good because I know me. That's a tricky topic to get into. Honestly, about knowing yourself.
Delusional.
Exactly,
you can really
exactly.
become delusional very easily off of that.
Oh my goodness. It's a whole bunch of checks and balances that you have to do mentally to really assess yourself.
Delusions of grandeur and then actually like having self-praise. That's the difference. That's the difference right there,
I do know.
That's what it comes down to.
Goodness gracious, these delusions of grandeur keep popping up in this discussion.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
It's really easy to get it on the internet if you sit there. It's really easy.
I mean, speaking of delusions of grandeur, right, and the internet,
right.
Let's talk about chasing clout. Chasing clout on the internet, and clout as a whole. Are you ready for this? You remember internet challenges as they still exist and continue to go on.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Now, to preface this, let's just talk about what we said. The internet is full of young and impressionable people. Clout exists. They want clout in the young and impressionable. I have here a list of some good, what I would call good, as in they don't hurt you physically and are generally tame, is what you'll come to find, versus the bad internet challenges. Starting off, I know you told me about this before. Everybody's done this. The cinnamon challenge.
Oh yeah, who's anybody has done that shit, man.
Hey kids, who would like to get hospitalized for cinnamon in their lungs? No one raises their hand. Why would you want to do that?
I've done that shit before. I was fucking bored. Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking lie.
I put it in
Did
my
I breathe it?
mouth, and it sucked all the moisture out of it, dry as the Sahara. And then I said, okay. And I'm spit that out. What are you talking? You inhaled this?
Oh yeah, no, I coughed like shit.
Bro.
No, I coughed like shit. Oh my god, I still remember. Yeah, I remember. I was in the kitchen with my brother. I think this was what, at least like 6 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, and
Came out in 2012. I was just
it
looking.
came on its. Yeah, so yeah, like 6, 7 years ago, and yeah, like I remember trying that shit out. And then inhaled it. And I looked at him with like the widest fucking eyes, man. Like, oh, I fucked up. You know? Yeah, everybody did it. Everybody. I knew I fucked up when I inhaled that shit. I just started coughing, bro. That shit was fucking wild.
That is, I'm pretty sure you can die from this, like, right? Obviously, suffocation, like,
No, when your lungs could collapse if you fuck it up enough.
easily, right?
Sure. Oh yeah.
Coats the back of your throat. You probably can't, get anything in there, no saliva especially. All right, but that's silly. See, like, look how bad that is for you, right? This bad internet challenge compared to something here. Let's go to the good list. You remember in 2014 when they came out with the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge?
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck ALS was before. Like, people actually started, dumping ice water on their head. I did not know shit about that.
It's funny because I've actually forgotten what the acronym stands for. What is the ALS?
I don't fucking know.
Oh man!
I don't think anybody really unless you still remember, you have a better memory than me, or you actually work in the medical field, or somebody actually suffers from that shit. People don't give a fuck. They don't really fucking remember.
Yeah, man. I thought it's for some detriment or disorder, right?
Yeah, it's a debilitating disease that, well, fuck the acronym. I still remember what it is. It's a debilitating disease that is it's lethal. It's it. There's no coming back from it. Your body basically shuts down, your muscles atrophy, and you die. That's
wow. Okay. Well, that's excellent. It's certainly a good cause, this Ice Bucket Challenge, right?
Yeah, it raised awareness, about something that will kill you. It's not like if it will, it's when will it kill you.
So now, that was for a charity. That's nice too. But right now, let's look at the good and the bad. Just these 2 points. We have something: pour cold water on yourself, and then help somebody. Then we have willingly inhale toxins. Like it's not toxic to you,
do you
but
remember
toxins.
planking? Do you remember planking?
I know. Planking.
That was like sort of a challenge, I guess you could say. That shit was funny to me.
Hold up, was it where they wasn't the challenge where they tried to plank off of these like incredibly hard to plank off of spots as well?
Yeah, that's where it came down to, like, people planking off of their fridges and shit and then falling off. Like, that shit is hilarious to me,
I think I would put that in the good list, actually. That's just being hilarious.
I know, I wouldn't say, because people died from it. People died from it.
I mean, well, you're going above and beyond. When I think of some of these planking challenges, there were people planking off of like 60, 80-foot drops on damn near like a beam or a pole, and it's like, wow, heaven have mercy.
Yeah, if you haven't like heard of any deaths or anything coming from it, I highly recommend the Internet Historian's video on it, because there was some guy who fell off and I think ruptured his spleen from it. He fell off, I can't remember, I think the roof of his house, and then one dude did it from like a 4-story or 5-story apartment building and then died. Yeah, it's nuts.
Wow, you see, there you go. Well, I mean, definitely put my mind back into it. That's dangerous for you.
Yeah.
In 2016, you remember what they released?
What?
They released the Mannequin Challenge.
Holy fucking shit.
The Mannequin
that was
Challenge.
So stupid.
Whoa now, buddy. Whoa now. That is one of my favorite challenges. They made some cool stuff with the Mannequin Challenge. What are you talking about, man? You hate the Mannequin Challenge?
It was stupid. I wouldn't say I necessarily hate it. There's worse challenges out there, but I mean, it is what it is. You seen the new challenges on TikTok, by the way?
There are new challenges on TikTok. I honestly am not an advocate of that app.
They're pretty beneficial. Well, I mean, like, they were new air quotes on that shit. They happened, I think, the last year or so.
Okay.
They were the Busset Challenge.
The Busset Challenge.
Yeah.
All right, now, taking my grandiose knowledge of what bussing it means.
Yeah.
And the word challenge, I'm assuming this is going to involve women and their ass. Okay.
And it was great. It was absolutely great. I don't give a fuck who knows. It was great.
So what was the Busted challenge?
You ever hear of this song? I think it's the song "Busted" by Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know. I don't listen to her fucking music.
Yeah, nah, I'm not a fan.
But yeah, it was basically girls dropping ass to that. You know, that's a challenge I can really get behind. But the challenges we came up with, like early on, very, very stupid. Very stupid.
Speaking of stupid challenges, 2 years before the mannequin challenge, you remember that global craze? The fire challenge.
I
have shown you videos, man, of people setting themselves on fire. This is what the fire challenge was. You cover yourself in some sort of flammable liquid, right? It was typically rubbing alcohol.
Oh,
yes, yo, and then you would have the
shit.
shower right there to try to extinguish yourself quickly.
Yeah, that shit.
This is just 4th and 3rd degree burn central. Honestly, I mean, this is retarded. Set yourself on fire for no benefit other than internet clout.
Speaking of which, there was this guy at the beginning of quarantine that I used to look at. You know,
Right.
whenever you would get posted on Twitter, he did that challenge. He did that challenge for a quick second, right? And he lit his hand on fire, you know, immediately like put it out. But after doing that, this guy this is clout chasing again, by the way. He drank the rubbing alcohol and had to get his stomach pumped. There's a video out there. I don't know where it is because they used to take it off of they took it off so many times of Twitter. But yeah, you know, he drinks alcohol, rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and then has to get his stomach pumped. This is the same dude that, you know, put fireworks in his sweatpants as well.
Literally.
And then put fireworks in I think his eye before.
I think he was off some. I'm not sure what all those challenges are.
No, he
I
was
think
off of clout chasing. That's what.
Clout is one hell of a drug. You know that
he
phrase?
Clout. Yeah, he won a clout. That's
I'm
all
glad
it
you
is.
talked about the stomach pumping because having your stomach pumped is no stranger to these challenges. You remember the fucking Tide Pod challenge?
Oh fuck, man.
That's not even a challenge. That's just hazardous ingestion. What is the challenge
That's a
about that?
suicide attempt.
You think you have to
Like,
be
that's
challenged or
just
touched in the head to attempt it? This is retarded.
No, that's just a suicide attempt.
For
That people
real?
disguise as a challenge. That's not a challenge.
Bro, I still use Tide Pods to clean my laundry, and no
Oh, yeah.
package I've had since that came out has been an easy to open package. I mean,
Oh no, we leave ours
It is-
open. we leave ours open. We don't. Yeah.
aren't you supposed to close them to preserve freshness?
Fuck if I know.
They feel any different after tons of days?
Hell no.
Already, then.
We've had it open for months now.
All of those things are childproof, and that's not bad, but like, I don't think they were childproofed en masse, obviously, before this challenge.
Oh no, they would. But I mean, it's hilarious.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I
honestly.
mean, to me, I'm
Eating
kinda
Tide
morbid with it.
Pods.
I'm kind of morbid, but like, man, this shit is hilarious. That it's just like, you know, we had full-grown adults doing this challenge. by
That
the way.
is
Don't forget
this is
that.
what I
Don't
keep trying to
forget that.
tell you. The internet,
Don't
like its
forget
influences,
that.
this stuff affects every age range, every human here, bro, any age. Adults eating Tide Pods, setting themselves on fire. I haven't even touched on what happened in 2020. I have a list of here of these bad challenges. I'm just gonna go down a list and just tell you what they
Right.
were.
Right.
The coronavirus challenge came out in 2020. You wanna know what that
I remember.
was?
I saw a lot of girls licking toilet seats.
Licking toilet seats, doorknobs, handles, any place the public has been, really, is putting your lips, mouth, nose, ears, eyes on it. Idiotic. There was something I looked up here the same year, 2020, the Skull Breaker challenge, and this one was basically where you interlink with somebody in some form or fashion, and you both drop in an effort to damage your brains. You know, your head. I don't even know how
Right.
that came to be, and how you can find another idiot willing to do this with you. But that's something that happened. And then the last one is a personal favorite of mine too. I'm gonna call it bad because it is, but it was hilarious. 2014, Squad put him in a coffin.
That shit was so
Squad
bad.
put
That
him
was
in
so-
a coffin.
That was so bad. That was so bad. That's just property damage. The challenge, bro. That was it.
For anybody who doesn't know what the Squad put him in a coffin challenge was, just as he said, it was property damage. The challenge. You know, obviously, had this happened to anything of mine, I'd be mad. But people, kids especially, is what I saw here. Teens are jumping flat back onto pretty much any surface, like you are coffined. You know what I mean? How their arms are crossed and their backs are against the board. That is what they're jumping onto people's possessions with, and it would typically be cars. People would jump onto the hood, the back of people's cars, and shatter windshields and stuff. It was hilarious, but it can result in a whole bunch of cuts. And I mean, honestly, angry homeowners and property owners. Tons of stuff is bad about that, but that is a personal favorite of mine there. And then I'm gonna tell you all these good ones too, so you can just kind of get a feel. So basically, we had something where you can hurt your lungs, you can set yourself on fire, you can lick public surfaces, you can almost die from pretty much most of these challenges. You know, skull breaking, hurting your skull. And now we're gonna touch on the good ones in relation to that, just so you can see the difference that challenges have, and challenges as a whole on the internet. Like, you can fall victim of one of the two. Okay, we had the mannequin and the ice bucket. The bottle cap challenge. You remember the bottle cap challenge, man? It was that short stint of time. You'll remember it when I tell it to you, bro. You take a bottle cap of any form or fashion, and you try, and they will put people try to like kick it off, right? I think it started from a video of a man kicking the bottle cap off the top of it, and then tons of people did like fake ones where they had their foot like go pan across the camera to remove the bottle cap from it without using their hands. You remember that challenge?
Nope.
Any videos on that? None of that? Okay. 2019, the Bird Box challenge came out. And that
was so bad.
That you think this was bad? I mean,
people tried driving their cars.
Wow.
While doing that shit.
Bro, I cannot, man. My research does not cover the amount of stupidity. I read people were just doing home activities while blindfolded, and the worst thing I thought could happen is like, well, cooking or cutting. I mean, cooking, really. You know, that was the worst thing I thought could happen.
No, people tried driving the cars.
That's not. I mean, that is a daily activity, but what the fuck? Come on now. With your eyes closed? How do you convince yourself to do that? You know how stressful it is to be on the road alongside other drivers? And you're gonna do it blindfolded?
I Uber everywhere.
Shoot. These people should have.
Yeah, no. Fuck no.
We have another challenge here, and then we have one more after that.
Right.
2015's Charlie. Do you remember that, man? They would put,
I fucking hated that shit.
That was when you would put two pencils on top of each other and then have a grid-style board that you drew.
Yeah, Charlie, are you here?
Fill two sides in for like something negative, and then fill two sides in for like they're not here, essentially. And the axis of the Earth and gravity makes the pencil move on its own, and they would use that to basically be like, there's a ghost. You know, the pencil would typically land on like it's here, and they would post the challenge. Stupid. Harmless, whatever. I definitely have to move the Bird Box challenge over because I did not know that people were driving cars into this. I really should have looked at the worst for both of these. All of these,
there was a challenge on Twitter that I saw before. It was like a specific day.
Okay.
Where it was like something was going on with the gravity of the Earth. I don't fucking know. I don't know if this is real, so take it with a grain of salt. I just saw it all over Twitter, and I couldn't fucking log on that shit without seeing it. Is that, you know, people would put a broom up in the middle of the room and it could just stand by itself, not needing a rest or anything.
I remember that. Yo, that was crazy. Yes, the broom would stand on its own. Dang, that was a good one to hear. We'll replace the Bird Box one and put whatever that was.
Yeah, because that shit was harmless.
We'll call it broom stand.
We'll find out that somebody died from doing that challenge.
Yeah, somebody stood under the broom after balancing knives on it. You know what I mean?
You know, they'll somebody decided like, oh, it's real, and then let me actually like, try to jump on top of the handle of the broom and impale themselves. Watch, that's actually a real thing.
Natural selection is alive and well, and the internet challenges are providing it with a host
it's great.
Of comedians.
It's
great.
And
the last one here is the Kylie Jenner challenge, also of 2015.
Oh, sucking your lips into a glass.
There
Getting
you go.
The nice DSLs, you know what I'm saying?
That was that challenge. So, I mean, we looked at the good and the bad challenges here. What do you think? The good versus the bad and the detriments associated with them.
They're all hilarious in their own rights. They're all hilarious.
I would not want my child participating in like 98% of these. Or anybody I know. So,
I mean, the Kylie Jenner one, I think it would fuck your lips up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was something
there was
bust your lip
there.
or something like that.
I really didn't give a fuck. Nobody died from it, but some of the other challenges are pretty funny. Tide Pod challenges, that shit shouldn't have made me laugh, but like the amount of PSAs that they put out for people just being stupid is just fucking great. Like, did you hear about Gorilla Glue Girl?
Gorilla Glue Girl. Alright, well, no. But let me tell you right now. Hold on. Did she put it in her hair? Just a quick question.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
then I've heard about her.
Yeah, so you know
Quick
about
side
her.
note about Gorilla Glue. I don't even
Yeah.
like touching this stuff, bro. I heard you get that on your skin, like they have to remove a segment of your skin. It's so damn strong. Like you glue your
It's the
fingers
toughest
together,
glue
you'll
on
be
planet
fucked.
Earth. That was their whole
Right.
shit. I remember it's fucking stuck in my head. It's the toughest glue on planet Earth.
So hold on
Yeah,
now.
no.
Did she like glue her hands to her head and she had to like
No,
have...
she glued her fucking hair down to her scalp.
Oh my goodness, yes, yo. Oh, she couldn't wash it off, glue it, do anything to remove it.
Yeah. Had to get a surgeon for it, you know.
She,
A lot of professionals were like, it's not a laughing matter. My dumbass thought it was fucking hilarious. Just
Okay.
how? Because
Okay.
it was a spray. It was a spray. So she didn't have to apply it with her hands.
They
or
have Gorilla
anything
glue,
like that.
glue spray?
Yeah, they have a spray.
Okay. Dang, man.
She sprayed it into her hair.
That is just... That just
At
goes
least
to
her
show
hair
you-
looked good for all that time.
That goes straight into the wrong media consumption section. That's the wrong types of media that you can get yourself involved with on the internet. You best
I
steer
think
clear
it's just
from.
a lack of brain cells, to be honest.
I think the internet is a way to project your lack of brain cells, though. You know, I think it only takes
Oh,
one
yeah.
retard to inspire everybody else to go, hey, let's put Gorilla Glue on our skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because one dude, I forgot this shit. One dude didn't believe her, and then he gorilla glued, I think, his lips together.
Wow. I mean, you look at the opposite of this, right? People are famous for putting themselves in peril or harm's way for views. Like, look at
Yeah.
Coyote Peterson. You know, he stings himself with
but
tons of
that's dope.
insects.
The
Of course,
Coyote Peterson
That's fine,
is fucking
but look
great.
at what they're doing on the other side, the flip side here, right? Gorilla gluing our lips together.
It all started with people like Supreme Patty. You remember that motherfucker?
Bro,
Supreme Patty?
that shit was just gross, man. I mean, what did
You
he put,
remember-
like, his skin was all disgusting, and then he put, like, lemons and, like, salt on his face, and just did a whole
Yeah.
bunch of nasty stuff. Yeah, man.
Side note that Supreme Patty kind of cleaned himself up. He's been pretty dope.
Last
Remember
post I saw, he got
Boonking?
some surgery for his skin. I do remember Boonking. Yeah, he turned himself around completely.
Yeah, he goes by John Gabbana now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He still has
Stop
all the
pouches.
tats, though, so...
No, he's been getting them lasered off.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
There you go, Ivan, you know. You know a little bit more about the dude who ran Boom Gang, Jonathan Gabbana? John Gabbana?
John Gabbana.
John Gabbana. He did. I
Nice
saw
name.
a post of his. He was talking about how he has renounced that whole Boom Gang stuff.
Yeah,
It was
he
after
didn't
he
get
got
involved.
popped, right? Didn't someone
do you
like
mean
put
got
their
popped?
hands on him? I saw a video of he took somebody's phone or something. They like punched him, laid him out right then and there. And I think this is when he turned around.
Maybe.
Perhaps. But yeah, man.
I do remember him saying something like about his jaw being fucked up and all this other stuff. Yeah, I do remember that.
There you go. Yeah, somebody popped him real good one time.
Oh man, fucking speaking of like cloud chasers and all that shit. So like for people who don't know this shit, or you might not know, do you remember when Tory Lanez had his own like Instagram show?
During the
Remember that shit?
pandemic,
During the pandemic,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, you know, a whole bunch of rappers tried to come together and you know, make their own shows.
Yeah. Mine was favorite. My favorite was Lil Boosie. Boosie badass.
Yeah, he was something else. Boosie Boosie was something else. But yeah, no, fucking Trippie Redd had his own, and I think I showed you the video that the dude Croc Gang did on that. Shout out to Croc Gang, really nice. Where the dude ate for Trippie Redd's show, he stapled a message to his forehead, burned himself with a lighter, ate
Oh,
a
yeah,
dog,
yeah, yeah.
a microwave dog shit sandwich with A1 sauce on it.
In an effort to hop on a track with him, right?
Yeah, to get a feature.
I don't think he was successful in getting the feature, was he?
I think he got $1,000. I think he had $1,000.
That's heartbreaking. If I had a dog shit sandwich with A1 sauce on it, you know, I would expect to get the prize I worked so hard to obtain, not $1,000.
I'm not sure if he got the feature. It's fucking funny though. You know,
It's hilarious.
it's funny. It's sad, but it's kind of funny.
Jesus. Clout, man. Oh. Stop being
It's a
stupid
drug.
on the internet. Is like one of this the whole point, guys. Please, for God's sakes. I also think it's a big issue how comfortable everybody's becoming with sharing their lives, their personal issues, and just how I told you, like they only put good pictures of themselves up, and I'm gonna contradict myself here. Do not put every second of your life on social media, and especially don't put personal issues and problems you're going through with people in your life. People, I think we're far too comfortable posting every little move we do on the internet.
Let me say this as just like a side note too. If you post DMs, like, you know, of something that's like of somebody being weird or you're breaking up with your ex or something like that, if you post them on social media, you're fucking weird. You're fucking weird, bro.
You're taking text messages and putting them up.
Yeah, that's fucking weird, bro. Yeah,
It's quite
I don't know.
disappointing. Honestly, I mean, to think that when the people next to you in transit or in a coffee shop are on their phones, that they're producing content like this, you know, or spreading just horrible insults and ideas right next to you, frying their own attention spans and being subjective to the same advertisements you are. I mean, stuff is targeted against you, for goodness sakes. And by against you, I mean in an effort to prevent you from becoming your best self. Of course, you know about the term targeted advertising, right?
Of course.
Google, they just take all the information based on your search history and web pages. They collected a surprising amount of information about you based on how much time you're
It's
on a search
useful.
page. It can be useful, most definitely. These advertisements, I mean, I don't want to see ads, period. But they're collecting information on you based on what you search. There's no privacy within that. And then on top of that, you share everything you do outside of your, you know, shopping history and YouTube searches on the internet anyway. There is no privacy with the current way we're using our cell phones. I'm honestly sick of seeing what everybody's doing. You know, this just takes away from time that you could be using to better yourself and worry about what you are doing. Every time you open the damn phone.
Truth. That is the truth. I'm not gonna lie, like during quarantine, I had have taken so many like chances to actually better myself, or you know, pick up a skill or some shit. What did I do? Look at people being weird online, you know?
Because it's entertaining, that's the
fun.
problem.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's addictive, which is
But
that's
yeah,
the
that's
issue.
kind of the problem with anything that's addictive. It's not like it's not bad because it's like, oh, it makes you feel bad or something like that. It's bad because it's good. That's how I had drugs explained to me. It's bad because
that's an
it's
excellent
so
phrase.
good.
I mean, do you understand how much, like, you ever look down at your phone, guys? Everybody listening, you ever look down at your phone or into any screen, and then you look back up at the world around you, and several hours have passed without you even knowing? And in that time, you've accomplished damn near nothing on the phone or any screen you're gazing upon? It's addictive. It's so good that it's bad. You
yeah.
understand me? You can waste entire days, segments of your day, on the phone, and it'll go by in a flash, and you'll have felt like you'll have accomplished nothing too. On top of
Just
that,
on screens in general, I can't tell you how many times that I've actually sat down and I was like, I actually want to do something, but first let me just watch this show.
oh,
And like
yes.
Invincible. Holy shit, Invincible is great. Just
That is a great
side
show
note.
too. Yep.
I spent an entire day that I was like, hey, I want to learn this thing and I want to learn this thing. Yeah, I started at like 11. You know, I said I'm gonna watch one episode. It was dark by the time I actually sat back. I was like, I'm finished.
11 a.m.
Like,
to
like,
dark.
yeah, to dark. I think I watched the movie afterwards too. Yeah.
It's very easy to get sidetracked on the internet.
Oh, absolutely.
Goodness gracious. Falling into the trap of getting confused on your phone. Yes, yo. Sometimes I'll be on my phone, do what I had to do, and then continue to use it, forgetting that I was supposed to get off after that. Or sometimes I'll open my phone up and forget why I even opened it up, you know? But I'm like, well, damn, I'm here now. And you hit like one of the 3 basic apps that you are most frequently using.
Yeah.
The overuse of the internet. I can tell you here one just other thing real quick too.
Yeah.
About
sure.
gazing upon these screens.
Mm.
Bro, I can feel my eyesight worsening. Staring at these screens all the time is not what our eyes are designed for, man. I even have special
yeah.
glasses that, you know, reflect the blue light is what's behind these monitors on
Yeah,
desktops.
it's blue light. Yeah.
Right. So I
And
have
just
it
for
that reflects
everybody,
that, and still my eyes hurt.
everybody that's watching, you can actually turn off blue light. I'm not sure if people know that. You
I
can
did
actually
not.
turn blue light off of your screen. Yeah, you can. On my phone, actually, if I'm actually going to read an article or something, right, I'll actually turn it to black and white mode,
Mhm.
so it emits no blue light.
Okay.
So it doesn't really fuck you up like that. And blue light actually, you talked before about blue light actually keeping you awake, or like the internet usage keeping you awake. Blue light keeps you awake. The sun emits blue light. You know what I'm saying? That's
And
your body saying, "Hey, stay the fuck up." So
oh, it's hilarious. So this is like
by turning that off,
a fake
you can actually
sun
go to sleep. Yeah, you can actually go
neurologically.
to sleep. Yeah, you
Well,
go
this
to
is why
sleep
it
a lot
reduces
better.
sleep too. Like we just looked at the
Yeah,
study, the reduces sleep. Look at it, it's a fake sun neurologically to you.
yeah. So
Okay,
that's what it comes down to.
and it's
Turn off the
always
blue
blue
light.
light. Is that in every monitor and screen now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that.
If you turn off blue light though, it'll turn your screen a orange tint.
All right, so this is what it does to the contrast. It turns it orange.
You're right.
It's literally a blue light then, huh?
Yeah.
How hilarious.
It's literally blue. So you can actually see the full spectrum of colors that's in your screen.
Speaking of all these screens in front of us, right? What do you think that does
Right.
to us, and neurologically, what do you think that does to us with the radiation that they transmit?
I I really have no idea. Science isn't there yet. We still had fucking people like back in the day saying that, don't use the microwave if you're pregnant. That'll fuck your kid up. We now know that's not gonna fuck your kid up. So it's just we gotta fucking learn. We gotta learn. That's all it takes. We don't have enough studies. They don't even know if vaping is, there was a whole controversy of what damage does it do to your lungs. We don't have enough data. We don't know yet.
And that's a scary thought considering how often we use our phones and screens in front of us. That these could possibly be harming us.
If you think about it, right? Humans, as like our whole kind of existence, is about trying out shit to see if it really kills us, and we learn from that. Think about
Facts.
like when it comes down to the basic things, like all the foods that we eat nowadays. Just think about this: all the foods that we eat nowadays, our ancestors figured out that these won't kill me.
Yeah, these aren't the poisonous berries.
Yeah, these berries won't kill me.
Noted. When they see the tribemen die from the blueberry.
Exactly. You might be 5 and fucking die from one poisonous mushroom. Holy shit.
Damn.
Now the whole village knows that mushroom is fucked you up. You know what I'm saying? So we live off of trial and error.
Well then, guess to put it briefly, we're just in like one big experiment with how much the
Always.
screens are put in front of us.
That's evolution. That's
So-
where it comes down to. That's what it's like.
Hey, is this necessary going
It's a
forward though?
necessary evil.
This is a necessary evil to you.
We have to learn.
I don't think the internet is inherently bad in its way that it can convey ideas and messages and information. That needs to be said. The internet in itself is not evil.
It isn't inherently bad,
Exactly.
but misinformation is rampant nowadays.
Oh, very much so. Let's talk into
So-
censorship, right?
Censorship. Okay, now
Censorship.
that's something. Censorship on the internet makes me laugh.
And why is that?
It truly does. Because for every avenue that you're, being censored on, you open up another avenue.
Very true.
Such as people getting censored on one of the biggest platforms out there, one of the biggest social media platforms, YouTube. YouTube is at liberty to ban your ass at any minute.
And that's
at
people's
any minute.
livelihood. Don't
Yeah,
care.
that's people's livelihood.
Takes your
They
job,
can do
refuses
that
to
at
elaborate
any
further.
Fucking minute. There's other services such as Daily Motion, but who the fuck is using that? And BitChute.
I hear more and more
Yeah.
content creators talking about BitChute though. That's a name that I haven't gone on the site, but that's a name that I do hear.
That's where a lot of controversial YouTubers go once they get banned. Twitter, right? They had this thing to where people stop using Twitter, or like a lot of conservative people stop using Twitter. They want to use the app called Parler.
Okay, I've heard a little bit about Parler.
Yeah, Parler. I was on Parler. I want to see what the fuck it was about. It was just basically people voicing their ideas that would be taken down for hate speech on Twitter. That was it.
Hate speech. Hate speech. It's funny how in
Or
the age of inclusivity,
right.
we are so quick to cancel and to censor and block the ideas and messages of other people. Hate speech. I mean, have you seen some of the things classified as hate speech out there, for goodness sakes?
Yeah, it's kind of like you remember the OK hand symbol?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's classified as a hate symbol now.
You see, we're just running with this shit. We're running
Even,
right
even
into the
Pepe
wall.
the Frog.
I remember that. I was supposed to be like racist or something.
Yeah,
Something
that
he
is.
said.
Yeah.
Idiotic.
Because
Is the
people
whole
on
point.
4chan, would post Pepe with swastikas and that shit, all that good stuff.
Okay, but they don't understand. Like, you have the right then to be racist or to transmute these ideas. Listen,
Oh, absolutely.
you can't take away other people's speech and then promote your own, and then on top of that talk about inclusivity and caring about what the person next to you says if you're not allowed to voice your own opinion.
In what context do you mean?
On the internet
Are
and
you-
in censorship in
on
in
the
posts.
internet.
In posts.
Okay, listen, right? Let's say hypothetically, right? Let's say you're racist, right?
Right.
You can be racist outside, right?
Mm.
I don't allow racism in my house, right?
Right.
I invite you over, right?
Mm.
You start saying racist shit in my house, right?
Right.
Is it not my right to kick you out?
Most certainly.
Right. So if we think about these platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, and all that shit, they're not run by any government, correct?
Right. These
By
are
that rule,
monopolies.
that this is their house, right?
I see where you're going with this. You're just going to tell me
Exactly.
that it's their platform, therefore they have the right to
Theref-
produce and show whatever content they
Absolutely.
wish.
They have
And they
the-
absolutely do.
They have
And
their
they
rules.
absolutely do. YouTube can continue to enforce the rules that they enforce now. Any platform can because it is theirs. But what is not okay, however, is that when you try to create these separate avenues for people who aren't allowed on YouTube, for people who aren't allowed on Parler, BitChute, etc. When you try to create these separate avenues and then
Right.
your apps, your links are taken off of Google because Google works with YouTube, etc. They don't promote you. You can't even promote yourself on the internet.
Right.
Links to your websites, other places that you visit, shut down. You can't promote these. Not a single commercial, not a single text speech. You can get blacklisted on the internet.
Right.
They can take that down so you can't even create separate avenues. So if we have to deal with these titans, right? These industries who own themselves and aren't run by the government. If we have
Right.
to deal with them, and this is going to be a place of public discourse, then these rules need to change. You understand? If the competition is never going to arise and surge, then the place that we all use has to change. Because I don't know one person who I've spoken to that thinks that censorship right now is beneficial, or just in general, and it's certainly not the way it's being conducted. Like you said, you're just going to take people's ideas and put them somewhere else. These ideas are going to be transmitted, the speech is going to happen, but now you're radicalizing more people because they can't
Right.
talk on their favorite platform where most of their friends or people who share the same mind are already at. And that is an issue. Censorship is wrong with how it's going about. Yes, they have the right, but it has to change. Who's going to take the wheel is the whole thing.
So my thing is, right? You disagree with me here. With this whole type of thing, it's pretty lazy. With the fact that they say Google servers aren't Google before has denied Parler the access to run on their app, on their servers, I should say. They've denied access to the Parler company to actually, buy servers off of them. Okay, cool. That is still within Google's rights. They are a monopoly when it comes to that shit. They're the biggest out there. But if you actually sat down there and if you think about the money, like the people who actually run these services, how much money they could get from cosigns, from people like Trump, who's banned off of just about every social media.
I did not know you
imaginable.
could take the president off of that. I understand now because they're not government run, but
Yeah,
I always thought it was kind of silly too how he would transmit a lot of ideas via Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, he's
It was
quick
a
with the
new
Twitter
age.
handles.
Hey, it's a new age. I just thought it was weird though. I think president
yeah.
speaking in front of a podium voicing his ideas, not
But
via
but
text.
it's it makes it a lot more personal that you can see what the president is saying in real time.
But why? It's the limited characters with Twitter for me.
Make a tweet longer.
Several tweets.
No, there's an actual site called Twit Longer. You can make a long tweet.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's just a character. I don't know. It was just weird mentally seeing that happen. Not bad.
Yeah, no.
It was weird.
I mean, you can do that, but like Trump has money.
Yep.
A lot of people have money. They want to make servers and put money towards servers. They could.
I call him an
Pirate.
influencer.
Look at Pirate
An
Bay.
entertainer. Pirate Bay.
Look
Oh
at Pirate
god.
Bay. Pirate Bay doesn't run on Google servers. They have their own servers. You still access their website.
Now, what's Pirate Bay
Yeah.
for people who don't know? Just real quick.
Pirate Bay is a website to where you can get certain movies. It's a torrenting website, and what torrenting is basically downloading things illegally.
There you
pirating.
go.
So when it comes
Favorite
down to
movies,
it,
HD.
you can
Pirate Bay.
you can pirate movies, games, all that stuff.
Careful. For obvious links and stuff that
Yeah.
can harm your computer.
There
Don't
are
be doing these
definitely
things.
viruses out there. If you plan to use that, I'm not saying that you should use that. I
Me
don't
neither.
endorse
I'm not promoting it. Just letting you know where you can
But-
find it.
If it goes out there, they've tried to take down Pirate Bay for years.
And they'll continue to try. And they'll continue
And
to just move their site.
It gets shut down almost every couple of months. It's so often that people are like, oh, Pirate Bay's down. And they don't run on Google servers. They have to move their servers like every couple of months because people do raids on Pirate Bay servers, like physical raids.
Oh goodness. Yeah, where the server.
Yeah, I'm talking about
break into
police. Yeah, police kicking down door raids. Yeah.
Imagine you're just hosting these Pirate Bay servers and the feds kick down your doors.
A little
fucking
fun
grapple
note.
into your roofs and arrest you.
Little fun note, it used to be named piratebay.se, which stands for Sweden, and then now they had to change to piratebay.org and all that shit. So yeah, it moves, it changes domain names and all that stuff, and then it stopped being Pirate Bay and it went to the Pirate Bay. You know what I'm saying? So they have to change stuff around, man.
As you'll have to do with the censorship
But
on the
my
internet.
point
Although that's illegal.
is,
Right.
my point is, if Pirate Bay can do it, a ragtag group of people can do it, why can't people with backing of big names? It's so idiotic to me.
Elaborate.
If you have the backing of big companies and all that shit, anybody can make a server. Anybody can make a server with enough know-how.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you would have to have enough capital, that means, i.e., have enough money or have enough equipment to get that shit up and running. Have your own server rooms. You can make it. You can make it.
With money, you can do a lot.
Yeah, you can do a lot.
Especially with money, the backing of huge corporations and the internet at your disposal.
You can just have the backing of billionaires. Just people who have money. It doesn't have to be a huge corporation.
I think censorship. Let's talk about a side bubble of that.
Right.
Cancel culture. Oh my goodness. Cancel culture, for anyone who's not in the know-how, is basically when your thoughts or ideas conflict with that of somebody else on the internet, and so they try to find out personal information about you in an effort to ridicule and drag your name through the mud, or to get you fired from your place of occupation. And you think I summed that up correctly, bro?
Pretty well.
That's pretty much what's happening right now. You say something, I pour my cereal before my milk, and then next day, boom, packing up my stuff. Of course, that's an exaggeration, but people, honestly, it's not even that much of an exaggeration. Not that you'll get fired for the cereal milk analogy, but that ideas that simple, things that you like or dislike, that you stand upon, your opinions, people take note of that, and people have a problem with that, and now are willing to die on this hill, metaphorically speaking, again, to oppose your view.
Oh yeah.
Cancel culture is ridiculous.
That's the bad side of Twitter. That's where mainly people go to cancel everybody else. It's the bad side of Twitter. Yeah, that's where it pretty much originated.
The fact that this happens at all is a glaring issue in how the media is being used to infiltrate our personal lives and how we're allowing it to happen. They did teach you growing up, right? At least they taught me. This is public schools. That you have to watch what you post on the internet, because it can not only come back to haunt you, but can interfere with job selection.
I feel like some people just need to embrace it, though.
Elaborate.
If you embrace being canceled, I feel like, you'll get a lot more respect for it. Like, trying to be canceled. If it's not something heinous, I feel like people will still respect you for it.
I mean, Doesn't matter if they cause big enough of an outrage and they take you off of the platform.
It all dies down after a while. People get canceled. Look at Doja Cat.
Okay.
Because I'm
yeah,
invested in music. Just because I'm invested in music.
I remember.
Yes,
that.
look at Doja Cat.
She didn't show her titties, and everybody was mad because they said
Yeah,
they
she
streamed
didn't
the hell out
show
of
her
the song.
titties. And what else was that? She did all that racist stuff. You know,
Oh yeah.
hard on
Dang,
her.
I forgot all about that.
People
Still caught
like
up
don't
on the
listen to
titties.
Doja. People don't listen to Doja. I mean, guess what? She's still making money.
Still talking about that cellulite and dropping it low.
Yep.
Dang.
She upset?
Well, I mean, but she kind of different though because she has a bigger following. You know, I think the average 9 to 5 guy getting the amount of hate she got would be pretty crippling.
I mean, you walk off from your job, somebody else will hire you. If you're skilled enough, if you have enough determination, you'll walk off from it.
There you go. But how do you feel about censorship? I brought you to censorship. How do you feel about cancel culture? That's a form of censorship.
Oh, it's terrible.
You know?
The problem is it feels good to cancel somebody.
Oh?
Yeah.
I assume in some petty,
you feel like you're on the
nihilistic
team.
way.
No, you feel like you're on the team. You belong to something greater than you.
This is this hive mind mentality I was talking about. The team of that opinion.
Yeah.
Willing to die on this hill for your opinion, and not only that, but to ruin somebody else's existence over what you believe. On menial stupid shit. Like, this is the issue. It's on menial stupid stuff.
In cancel culture, they'll like... It can... people don't change in the eyes of people who participate in cancel culture. Oh, you did that thing 10 years ago? Well, of course you must hold the same...
You cut out there. What do you say? You must hold the same opinion?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The last note here I have to talk about is what we were talking about earlier. With the screens, basically, and how we're test dummies. Our phones are always transmitting, and screens in mass are producing RF radiation, which stands for radio frequency. The International Research Agency, they listed it as a possible carcinogen. So all the screens, and you could tell, right? You remember those old box TVs, those big, huge ones that you could feel the actual static on. You were told, instructed by your parents not to sit too close to.
Of course.
Yeah, bro. Those produce radiation, and it's actually 2 different types of radiation here. We have ionizing and then non-ionizing radiation. And ionizing radiation just means that it's higher frequency, therefore higher energy, and then non-ionizing is low frequency, low energy. Every screen you have in front of you nowadays is non-ionizing, low energy, low radiation. However, those box TVs, they were ionizing radiation. That thing is bad for you, boy. And if they were to bust, there's some chemical in there, some unit, which you would have to evacuate because it's harmful to breathe. So we've all just been testing and testing to see the effects on us. That's what this whole discussion is about, the effects that the internet, social media, and technology have on you and are having on you. A lot of stuff we don't know, a lot of stuff to speculate, but you have to take all that with a grain of salt. Just move cautiously on the internet, and honestly, I think people need to improve generally with their media usage.
Use it, don't abuse it.
Use it, don't abuse it. Hey, until next time, I'm Brian, your host. This was Swash the channel, and this is Words with the Third. Thanks for watching.